Hey YouTube, it's Alejandro, and I'm back with a Digimon review, which this time I will be looking at the Digimon Adventure 02, Hawkmon, and the Digiegg of Love figure set, which, and here's the weird thing, comes all the way from Japan. It's a Japan import. It's not available in the US. Now this figure is about a decade old, so remember to keep that in mind, but it's really good, at least in my opinion. So now, before looking at the figures themselves, I will be taking a quick look at the packaging. So, yeah. Okay, now here is the packaging. It's all in Japanese words right there. Number 2, meaning it was from Season 2 of Digimon. Now, there's the see-through window where the figure's supposed to be. There's the tray for all the parts. And on the background, there's like green hardware and stuff. Now right here, of the combined mode of the Egg and Hawkmon is a really cool picture of their 3D art image of Halsemon. It's from Bandai. More Japanese words from Digimon Adventure 02. Now from this side, it shows Hawkmon and the Digiegg of Love and a background image of Halsemon. Now in Japanese, it's called a Digimantle, so it would be the Digimantle of Love. And here's some Hawkmon data with the attack and level. On the other side, it shows the same stat info for the Halsemon mode. And yeah. Now for the bottom, it's pretty much right here's pretty much where it lists all the contents inside. It's Japanese, so I don't know. Now, on the back here, it shows the other figures in the line, and that there's a piece right here that shows you that you can customize the parts to make your own armored Digimon. Here is a quick little image of how the transformation works. Some Japanese bios that I cannot read. And the human partner, pretty sure has a choking hazard picture and more Japanese stuff. So, yeah, I mean, the box doesn't really matter. I mean, you can't read it, but it's what's inside that matters, not the words on the box. So, moving on to the figure now. Okay, now looking onto the figure. First, looking at the base figure itself. Now, quick thing to note. It's not really relevant to the figure itself, but more like relevant to me. When I first got it, it was about a month ago in the beginning of January this year, so as far as shipping goes, time-wise, I got in like December 18th, I think, right before Christmas. I purchased it offline on Amazon, and it said it was like supposed to show up on February, which is like 2 months, but it only came a few weeks later, like towards the beginning of January, so the wait wasn't that long. So yeah, if you buy one, about 2 to 3 weeks, I think, for shipping. So keep that in mind if you want to buy one. Okay, now onto the Hawkmon figure. It's got some detailed feathers. It's got molded feathers right here. The claws are done in a nice gray paint. It's not bad. And same for the other side. The legs are all in yellow. It's got some whitish paint for the toes. And for the back here, there's the tail, which has some molding on it. It's got some molded detail on there. Now for the head, it's got a black headband all the way around, which is accurate. It's got a little silver, being like the belt buckle for the headband. The eyes are really well done. Let me just... there. So yeah, it's kind of like the Halsemon eyes. I really like that. It's very well done. There's some red symbols right here on the head. Some more red symbols right there. Basically, this Digimon is like a bird Indian, basically, to clarify what it is if you're confused by it. The main body's all red, basically, and it's got some molded detail here of like the white feathering. It's got like this Indian tail feather thing. It's got red, and right here on the top is yellow. And for the beak, got molded in nose holes, and yeah, the beak's also molded in to show the mouth shape curve, but it does not open. Now, for the articulation of this figure, the arms go out and in, and they do rotate all the way. And now you also got rotation right here on the hand itself. It can go up or down. And keep in mind that there are clips right here underneath the arms, and that's for its combination. So yeah, the arm's got 360 rotation in and out on the hands. So yeah, it's got like a, I don't know the word for it right now. And for the legs, they go back, forward, and they do pop off. They're on this ball joint that just connects. You can reattach it if it pops off. I don't know if it happens on all Halsemon figures, but it might just be mine. Or it could be from the fact that it's old, but I'm pretty sure I bought mine new. Very sure. And the legs do have some rotation on them. 360 rotation. Just gotta hold on to this piece so it doesn't pop off. And for the foot itself, it goes down a little bit and up. A little bit down, but that's about it. It's got good rotation. Goes up, down, and kind of pops off. Same for the other leg. And for the tail, you can flap it down or up if you want. And it's even on connected to this piece, which separates from the back, but that's for a different transformation. And for the head, the only articulation you have is some head rotation. You can push the head up, and then you can move it better, but it's just looks weird. And you also can move the feather down, or you can just move the feather if you want, but that's pretty much all the articulation. And for a base figure, it's decent. I would say he's about, I don't know, 2-3 inches tall. Not very big. Now, moving on for the Digi-Egg of Love. Now, here's a quick look at all the 5 armor pieces that are included on the box. So, basically how it... So, let me explain really quick how the gimmick of this figure line works. Basically, there are armor pieces that you get and build to make the Digi-Egg or Digimantle if you're from Japan or something. And then you can detach the armor pieces from the egg and reattach them to the main figure, the base figure that comes in the set, and armor Digivolve it as shown in the show way back in the day. So the main armor pieces are the back legs, the front head helmet piece, the front legs, and the back of the helmet piece, which connects right on. Now, I'm going to show off how to attach these to make the Digi-Egg of Love really quick, and yeah, I can show off that. Okay, so I think the first step would be with the back legs. So, right here is this thing where you can turn it around. So, yeah, and the legs on this also really pop off kind of easily. I don't know if it's just for mine. So you rotate it inwards, and the feet also do rotate, so you have to do that. Then you just give me a second. This part's a little tricky, at least for me. So you rotate the legs and just fold them up like that and move them in. And the same for the other side. Just rotate the bottom foot and rotate it into the body. Like so. And finally, if you have the tail up, you just rotate that down. And you pretty much have this piece ready. And next what you do is you take this piece which makes up the head helmet and you plug this in on the back. It just lines up like this. So yeah, it lines up like this. Basically the parts that hold it together are these curves right here that just fit in perfectly with the shape, and it's also got these grooves thingies right here that just lock it in. Not really lock it in, but just give it a spot to hold it in. Right there and there. Next, what you do with the legs is you flip these in. They just go, these parts go in. And now note that the legs are left and right specific. There's an, for example, where it tells you is that there's an molded in R right there and a molded in R right here as well. So yeah. It's there. Sorry if you can't see it, but it's there. So there's, yeah, those are the two spots where it shows you as left or right specific. So you pull these parts in, like so, on both the legs. Then you take the back plate piece, and there are 2 holes right here, which you connect the legs, these tabs right here, you just plug them in like that. First leg. Now the second leg. Putting in one is easy, but trying to squeeze in the second is a little harder. But it's definitely doable. Like that. Okay, now you go back to this piece, and you, so there are these two tabs right here that go into these two holes right there, and it just kind of all lines up. And the toes right here go into this gap space, so there's a place for the toes to fit in as well. So you just line it all up, and just adjusting the legs. Legs are a little bit of a pain, at least for me. Then the last step is you rotate the wings around like this. Then you fold this in and fold that out. And that also pops off because it's on a ball joint. Just reattaching right there. Turn, fold in, fold out. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. And that's the Digi-Egg of Love. Now, it's pretty accurate to the show. It's got these wing pieces. It's got the symbol, which is accurate. The symbols are all there. And the back of the egg looks good too. The only things that aren't accurate are the feet sticking out and the eyes, but I don't really mind that. Plus, I kind of like the feet. I feel like this Digi-Egg should have feet on it. It looks like an interesting little neat extra touch, at least for me. Now, next is, so you can take the armor pieces and form the Digi-Egg that they're meant to make. But what else you can do is you can detach these armor pieces and attach them to the main figure to armor Digivolve it. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to do that next. Okay, so now really quick to keep in mind, the instructions for this, for the egg assembly and for the armor Digivolving section process, the instructions are all in Japanese, but for Japanese figures, the Japanese language doesn't really matter since you can just follow the instructions by looking at the pictures, and even though Japanese isn't for everybody, pictures are universal, so if you just follow the pictures, you should have no problems. So now to get Halsemon ready, you just push the head up, then you actually rotate it, then you move the arms up and just rotate like this, move it up, rotate, and you fold the tail down like that, and you're pretty much ready for Halsemon. Next, first step is you take the back leg pieces. Now, so I already folded the legs back out. Now, there are these two ball joints right here, and there are these two holes on the bottom of Halsemon's legs. You just attach them. And you also fold the tail out. So you just attach them like this. That's one. There. Got both of them. And now you just rotate the foot, and yeah, that's how you got one good leg. And do the same for the other. Really, the ball joints popping off might be different for yours if you buy one. It could just be mine. Now you rotate the leg on this one, 1, 2, and yeah, that's basically the back leg section. Then gonna go with the head. Just rotate these pieces because this is how it's supposed to be. Now you take the back plate piece. Now it connects like there are these two tab things right here and these two curves right here. They just line up and just line up like so. And as you can see, there are these two things right here, which as I push them in, pop up automatically by themselves and make the horns, or ears if you prefer. And as you can see, the whole eggshell thing just lines up. Now, this part is kind of tricky, at least for me. Now, how you connect this onto the Halsemon figure, there are these two holes on the wings right here and here. There are these two things that connect into those right there. Then there are the two tabs on the legs that connect into these two holes right there. Now you just try to line that all up. Two holes on the legs. And now for the two holes on the arms. And that piece just popped off. These things do happen. It's there, properly attached. Now reattach the wing piece. Perfect. And yeah. And if I didn't already mention it, you also take the back feather piece and fold that down. And now the last step would be to take these two legs and take this tab right here, put your hand there, and you just pull those pieces out. And yeah, left and right specific. Now, as I mentioned before, there are the clips right here underneath the arms that these ball joints connect to. So you just connect the ball joints onto the clips, like that. Do the same to the other. And yeah, it's pretty much complete now. Give me a second to quickly stabilize his position. Just give me a second. Okay, now I got it perfectly stabilized. Now looking at the Halsemon figure, it's pretty good, really. It has these, the Halsemon arms become these like underneath wings for the actual wings, which have this cool shape to them. The head has this molded in beak mouth like Halsemon, except the only difference is you can actually open it up and it reveals these cool little teeth. Let me just adjust the focus on the camera so you can see better. Yep, sort of. And there's also some red paint on the inside, which is the mouth. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So it has an opening mouth. And the eyes were really well done, just like Halsemon. This is the Digi of Love symbol. It's got blue right here and there, blue markings. It's got these head horn things, which do not go down as long as the back piece is connected up there. It's got the tail wing, the tail piece, which rotates. The back legs, you can move them however you want. They have 360 rotation. You can move them up here. You can rotate, you can move up the foot. You could rotate it. And it's done in yellow. And the claw pieces are painted in pink, which I think is accurate. There's pink on the front claws and on the back right there. It's done for both of the back feet, not for the front feet. And for the wings, they do move up or down, and they also have a separate hinge right here, so you can have that articulation as well. And yeah, right here, the pagan stuff just really undoes itself kind of easily. Could just be mine. Again, might differ for you. Like, keeps popping off. And the arms right here are on a ball joint, so just give me a second to... Right, so the arms are on a ball joint, so they have a little bit of wiggle movement. And right here, as you can see, that's how it folds in. The front legs can go back. They can go a bit forward. And you also have some movement on the front paws. Go up and down a little bit. And they're done in white paint. And the only noticeable pieces from Halsemon are the back legs, which are in like the midsection of the body, and underneath right here basically shows off Halsemon's head underneath the helmet. Now what I would like to do is push it up a bit more, but it just kind of undoes these tabs, and that's pretty annoying. But what can you do? It's a really well done figure. It definitely looks the part. I mean, its parts do kind of pop off here and there, but it's not too big a deal, and it might vary for you. And I do like this figure. Got it off Amazon. Now, if you want one of your own, they are available on Amazon. Now, there is a whole line of these Armored Digivolution sets, but this is unfortunately the only one I own. They are all fairly expensive for like $100 each. However, this one seems to be the cheapest in the line, going for like $40 to $50 on Amazon. $40 to $50. It's a fair price. And if you can afford one and would like one of your own, there will be a link in the description below. So yeah, remember, as mentioned in the beginning, the ship time could range from 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, don't believe what it says of estimated shipping time. Estimated. It could be wrong. But yeah, it's a cool figure. It's got a bit of kibble on it, which is like a technical term for when parts of one mode are revealed in another mode that shouldn't be there. That's what kibble means. It has a bit of kibble, but it's not that bad. It's a good figure, and really quick for a comparison, here is Halsemon next to Shoutmon times 4. Let me just zoom out, move my camera out a bit so you can see better. Now, yeah, Shoutmon times 4 is like at least twice as big as Halsemon. Now, I've never seen these two actually side by side in the show since they're from different series of Digimon. However, I would have to guess the scaling is probably accurate. And that's the only other Digimon figure I currently have as of now. So, yeah, this is my Japanese Digimon review for the Halsemon and Digi of Love, which Armor Digivolve into the Halsemon figure. So that's my review for it. I do recommend it if you can afford it, like if you have a job or something. It's a good figure. It's over a decade old, and it's foreign all the way from Japan, so considering those two things, the price of $40 to $50 on Amazon is actually a pretty good deal. If you can afford it, I would recommend this. It would be cool for your shelf. I might pick up the other Armored Digivolution sets. I don't know when. They're a bit expensive, so I might do it eventually. And I don't know when I'll have more Digimon reviews. These are the only two I have currently, and the only way I can really find them is through Amazon, but even though the prices are affordable, it just depends on what I'm buying when. So, yeah, it's a good figure. And what else can I say? Well, I do recommend this. It's awesome. And it does also have another mode, but that's sold separately because of different armor parts. So, yeah. Oh, and right. Now, normally I, for one, am not a person who buys foreign items. I mean, I never really had access to foreign items, like this Japanese figure, until, like, at least last August, when I first managed to start, excuse me, when I first started buying offline, when I first figured out how I could shop from Amazon, but I saw a review of this figure from a pretty expert pro reviewer of Digimon figures, and I kind of got convinced by him. And yeah, I honestly don't regret buying this. It's good on my shelf. The instructions are in Japanese, but you can just simply follow the pictures. If you can understand pictures, you should be able to assemble this pretty easily. And as for the box, you can throw it away if you want. I just kept mine up to now for this review. So, yeah, I got mine about last month, in the beginning of January. I do recommend this. Remember, if you want one, you can find one on Amazon for up to $40, which is a decent price, and it's the cheapest one in the Armor Digivolution set line. And yeah, I think that's about all there is. So, yeah, it's Alejandro, and this has been my review for this Armor Digivolution figure, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy this, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, really. And there will be more videos. I cannot guarantee there will be more Digimon videos soon, but I will be going back to Transformer videos next, so yeah, stay tuned for that. And remember to share, please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, that's about it, and thank you YouTube for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, so your support really means a lot to me, so thank you and goodbye.